CJ, a drill rapper from Staten Island, rose to fame in 2020 with his breakout hit, Whoopty, which peaked at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song quickly became a viral sensation, thanks to its hard-hitting beat and the accompanying music video showcasing CJ and his crew rocking red bandanas, shouting the Blood Gang greeting, Whoopty. The track was instantly catchy, with its infectious hook and familiar beat, an instrumental sample from the Indian song Sanam Re. This sample had already been used in drill rap, most notably in Expos and Me by Memo 600 and King Von, and was remixed by drill artists like FBG Duck, Ruga, and 22GZ. Despite the song's immediate success, rumors began swirling about CJ's authenticity. His sudden rise to fame raised questions about whether he was truly about that street life or just another artist capitalizing on drill culture for clout. People began to scrutinize his background, wondering if CJ was genuine or just another industry plant. Born and raised in Staten Island to a Puerto Rican family, CJ started rapping at a young age. He was only 9 when he began rapping as a hobby, but by the age of 14, he started taking it seriously, uploading tracks to SoundCloud and YouTube. Before Whoopty, CJ had released a handful of songs, including a collaboration with infamous rapper 6ix9ine called Pop. However, none of these songs made a significant impact, even within his own city. It wasn't until he self-released Whoopty in July 2020, using a beat he found on YouTube, that his career exploded. His rapid rise didn't go unnoticed, and soon after the song blew up, CJ signed with Warner Records and Cruise Control Entertainment. This was the moment the accusations of him being an industry plant started to surface. A key reason for this was the involvement of his uncle James Cruz, who is the CEO of Cruise Control Entertainment. While CJ stated that multiple labels had shown interest in him, Warner Records was the one that made him the best offer. Given that Cruz had deep connections in the industry, having worked for Reebok in the 90s, and then transitioning to the music industry, where he worked closely with Sean Diddy Combs for nearly a decade, the situation raised some eyebrows. Cruz's experience in the industry and his long-standing ties to major figures made it easier for CJ to rise to prominence. James Cruz's track record made him a perfect mentor for CJ, which some perceived as an advantage in securing a deal. The label and his uncle's influence raised questions about whether CJ's success was a result of his raw talent or if his connections played a larger role in his rapid ascent. Despite these doubts, CJ has managed to carve out his own lane in the drill scene, though his street credibility remains a topic of heated debate. His come-up story highlights the complexities of the modern rap game, where success can be fueled by talent, connections, or a combination of both. The question remains, is CJ the real deal, or just a product of industry connections? Only time will tell if he can maintain his momentum or if the critics will prove him to be another flash-in-the-pan figure in the drill rap scene. Jay, a drill rapper from Staten Island, was initially focused on a more melodic, auto-tune-heavy style, but it didn't catch much attention. He wasn't interested in grinding for years to make a name for himself. Instead, he sought instant clout. Taking inspiration from 6ix9ine's playbook, CJ switched to aggressive drill music, making bold claims about gang ties to gain attention. It paid off. His track, Whoopty, dropped in July 2020, quickly becoming one of the biggest hits in New York, and went viral on TikTok. With a catchy hook and aggressive energy, it took off, gaining airplay and support from radio stations and music outlets, thanks to the influence of his uncle James Cruz, who had deep industry connections. Overnight, CJ went from an unknown rapper to one of the hottest names in this city, but all that attention raised questions. Fans were curious about who CJ really was, especially concerning his alleged gang affiliations. He was flaunting red bandanas and shouting, Whoopty, a phrase closely associated with the Bloodhound Brims in the Bronx, but his lyrics didn't specify which gang or set he claimed. Rumors started circulating that CJ was simply using gangs for clout rather than having any real ties to them. The controversy intensified when CJ did an interview with Genius, where he claimed to have invented the term Whoopty, saying it was something he came up with and used with his friends. CJ even went as far as to file a trademark for the term, aiming to profit from it commercially. This sparked backlash from the Bloodhound Brims, who had been using Whoopty for years. The group's founder, L.A. Brim, who is currently serving a 30-year prison sentence for his leadership role in the gang, called out CJ from behind bars. In his call, L.A. Brim acknowledged CJ's success with this song but accused him of stealing the term Whoopty without giving credit to the Bloodhound Brims. He emphasized that the term was rooted in the Bronx and was closely tied to his gang. Brim made it clear that while CJ may have made a hit, he wasn't about to let the rapper claim ownership of something that belonged to his gang. Brim denied any affiliation with CJ, adding fuel to the fire of accusations that CJ was just another clout-chasing rapper looking to ride the wave of street culture without paying dues. This drama only fueled the debate around CJ's authenticity in the drill scene. Despite the success of Whoopty, questions about whether he was genuinely connected to the street life or merely exploiting it for success lingered. With his rise to fame so fast, and with the controversies around his claims, CJ's future in the industry remained uncertain. Would he be able to navigate the challenges of the street and music worlds? Or would his credibility continue to be questioned? Only time will tell if CJ can prove he's more than just a flash in the pan.
So first and foremost, CJ made a hot song, but the content that he used is not his content. So his foundation is based off a lie. He's not Whoopty. He don't know nothing about Whoopty. He just seen a fly splash and he jacked it.
L.A. Brim, founder of the Bloodhound Brims, called out CJ for falsely claiming a set and lifestyle that he and other Brim members are serving decades in prison for. He argued that the only reason CJ's song, Whoopty, gained traction was because of the respect the Bloodhound Brims had built in New York. According to Brim, CJ was disrespecting the Brims by claiming to have invented the term Whoopty, a phrase the Bloodhound Brims had been using for years. Brim clarified that he wasn't beefing with CJ, but he needed to set the record straight about the origin of the term. This public confrontation severely hurt CJ's street credibility. As the controversy grew, other gang members and New York drill rappers started questioning CJ's authenticity. G5 Reels, a rapper affiliated with L.A. Brim, also went live to call out CJ. Reels accused CJ of being a fake blood with no ties to the Bloodhound Brims, especially after CJ attempted to copyright the term Whoopty. Reels was furious, saying, "First you make the song hooky, then you make the song pop. That's all our SHT, boy, and you're still not trying to pay homage. Then you gone copyright our SHT? You copyright our SH*T like yo boy, your head not good." The Bloodhound Brims were one of the most violent gangs in New York before being taken down in a major gang indictment in 2016. They had a presence in New York, Westchester, Elmira, and Pennsylvania. The gang was involved in drug trafficking, racketeering, and violent crimes. Many of its leaders were arrested in a RICO indictment, facing charges for murder, attempted murder, assault, and more. The Brims started in Los Angeles, but expanded to New York in the early 90s. Like most blood sets, they initially formed in Rikers Island before spreading to the streets. The Blood Brims became a powerful force in New York's criminal underworld, eventually forming the Blood Brim Army, with multiple sets across the city. During their peak, the Brims were responsible for major crimes, including shootings and drug trafficking, which ultimately led to their downfall. One key event was in 2012, when LA Brim and Don P were arrested after a shootout at a chicken spot in the Bronx, where they allegedly fired on rivals with an AK-47. LA Brim was convicted of attempted murder and sentenced to 30 years in prison. In 2014, Kevin Melton, a Brim leader, made headlines after orchestrating the kidnapping of a prosecutor's father. Melton, serving life in prison, used a cell phone to direct the kidnapping, but the gang members mistakenly kidnapped the wrong person, the prosecutor's father, Frank Jansen. Given their violent history, the Bloodhound Brims had a major cultural influence, especially in the drill scene. So when CJ claimed to have invented the term Whoopty, many in the gang felt he was disrespecting their legacy. CJ's quick rise to fame, fueled by a viral hit, now seemed opportunistic and disingenuous to those who knew the real story behind the culture. His credibility was further questioned, leaving him to face a storm of accusations about his ties to the streets. This controversy over CJ's authenticity and claims to the Bloodhound Brims culture continues to haunt his career. His success may have been built on clout, but whether he can maintain it amidst growing skepticism remains uncertain. Only time will tell if CJ can prove he's more than just an industry creation. In a shocking turn of events, the Bloodhound Brims, including their leaders, continue to make headlines for their violent and widespread influence. One notorious act involved the kidnapping of a prosecutor's father, orchestrated by Kevin Melton, a leader of the Brims, from prison. Melton had ordered the kidnapping in revenge for his life sentence, but the plot went awry when the gang mistakenly kidnapped the wrong person, prosecutor Frank Jansen, from his home in Atlanta. Despite this error, the Brims' history of terror didn't end there. They were involved in numerous violent crimes across New York and the country, contributing to a massive FBI indictment in 2016 that took down several high-ranking Brim members, including LA Brim. Even with many of their leaders incarcerated, the Bloodhound Brims remain a powerful force in New York, with their legacy deeply ingrained in the street culture. This made LA Brim's public statement denying CJ's street credibility a significant blow to the rapper's career. It wasn't just Brim members coming for CJ. Brooklyn drill rapper 22 Jeezy also stepped up to challenge his authenticity. In January 2021, 22 Jeezy tagged CJ on Instagram, writing, "At real_giving me 69 vibes and boy from Staten Island, the safest borough in NYC." He also released a remix of Whoopty called Goofy, taking shots at CJ for allegedly jacking the Brooklyn drill sound. In interviews, 22 Jeezy emphasized that it wasn't personal, but CJ needed to give respect to the originators of the drill movement that helped him rise to fame. CJ didn't back down, responding with the track It Up, where he dissed 22 Jeezy and his entire gang, the Gangster Disciples. In the song he raps, "I catch a blicky man down in my city," referring to 22 Jeezy's Blicksky gang. The music video even featured CJ throwing up GDK, Gangsta Disciple Killer, directly challenging one of the biggest gangs in the country. But it didn't stop there. Another Brooklyn drill artist, Busy Banks, also came forward to accuse CJ of stealing his style. Busy posted on his Instagram story that an CJ need to give me my credit, no cap, an jacking my lingo and flow. I'm tired of not getting the recognition I deserve. I started this new wave of drill rap. Let's talk about it. Fans could hear the similarities between CJ's Hit Up and Busy's tracks like Neo and Don't Start Point 2. CJ was quickly gaining enemies instead of the respect he was hoping for. In September 2021, during an interview with No Jumper, 22 Jeezy revealed that CJ had canceled a scheduled interview at the last minute. The reason for the cancellation? According to 22 Jeezy, someone in charge of CJ's social media posted something about their beef, which clearly got under CJ's skin. Instead of handling it professionally, CJ canceled the interview entirely, revealing his frustration and immaturity in dealing with the situation. CJ's rise to fame has been a tumultuous one, as he navigates constant criticism and accusations of clout chasing. His attempts to claim street credibility have been met with resistance from influential figures in the drill scene, leading him to face the fallout from his actions. Rather than earning respect, CJ quickly became embroiled in conflicts with rival rappers and gangs, making his future in the industry uncertain.
We had an interview booked with CJ. And then somebody on the social media team, they posted up
Whoopty.
22G's dissing CJ. They just posted about it because it's notable, it's news, you know, we're paying attention. We were all talking about it in the group chat, so they posted it. CJ interview canceled.
This was another L for the Staten Island rapper. He could have used the interview to tell his side of the story, but instead, he chose to stay quiet. CJ never really addressed the accusations that he's false claiming and stealing other rappers' style and flow. He also ain't dropped another single that brings the same kind of buzz that Whoopty did. He dropped an EP in early 2021 called Loyalty Over Royalty, which was executive produced by French Montana. But none of the other songs made the same impact as Whoopty. Unless CJ can switch up his whole style and come back with a banger that puts him on the charts, he'll probably just be a one-hit wonder. Just like 6ix9ine, part of his appeal was his gang ties. But once the truth was exposed, fans just moved on to the rappers who really live what they rap.